make it, you got to take the brakes off. Get him on the scale.
Orlando, I want to start with you because wow, this movie blew me away and I can't stop thinking about the ending. We can get into that in a bit, but I'm sure a lot of people have been asking you about, the weight loss and all these physical things you went through. I'm curious, in the prep or maybe during filming, was there one just unexpected mental or like physical challenge that you were not expecting going into the movie?
I mean, yeah, honestly, once I committed to doing everything that Boxer had to do, it was almost like no acting required, because we started the movie I came into the movie at my lightest weight, and we shot in reverse chronological order. So when I came to set in the first few days and even couple of weeks, really, 10 days, I was in pieces, both physically and mentally in a way, which was perfect for the role. Quite hard for me, more challenging than I had realized in some ways. I definitely had intrusive thoughts, sleepless nights, waking nightmares, and that was all part of what the character, does. And thankfully with somebody with the support and when you have an amazing actor like John and Katrina and a director like Sean, there was a sort of safety net built in because we all understood, what was required on the page. But John really brought something unique to the role and actually changed the whole film in a most beautiful way, because he sort of saw the love aspect of what the character should be, and it was written more like a drill sergeant, but he sort of made him more like this seductor, that he was seducing the character away from Katrina, and that was unexpected and did something, I think, very human and psychologically dramatic and interesting in ways that we couldn't have seen without him doing. So there were many surprises, but that was one of the big ones. Yeah.
John, can you talk a little bit about that process of reading the script and at the point where you were like, you know what, there are some things I want to change, and how you kind of...
I don't really change the dialogue so much. It just, it's the approach. I try to be open to it. You're trying to get someone to do something. They have to do it eventually. You can help them do it. It's like being a parent. You can only do so much with your kid. They have to eventually do it and embrace it. And so in sports, people do all kinds of crazy things in all sports, gaining weight, losing weight, putting on muscle, because they have a short time frame. Their careers are condensed. They're condensed lives, and they're in this arena. And so this is a very, real thing. Then people discover someone cheating or whatever, so I thought it was a fresh take on what goes on between people. He obviously has to reach him, push him, but to say, hey, do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
Can you do this? And if you do it, I will take you to the extreme. And people do it. People do this. And so I thought that was interesting. And there's no way you can bludgeon someone to do that. You have to kind of be unpredictable. But he really brought it. He brought it completely. Katrina brought it. But Orlando, was very vulnerable. And he really just brought all of himself to it. So it was a pleasure to kind of, get to know him in really, he was completely naked, metaphorically and, figuratively.
Literally.
Yeah. But he just let himself be that way. And that's not easy for someone to do. And so it was a treat for me, to work.
Yeah. John, I wanted to ask you, there is talks that Michael Bay is returning for Transformers, and I'm curious what you think about that and if you'd be game to come back.
I'm like Orlando. If they give me a script or something to read, we're in the circus business, so we look at it, and Michael Bay is, he's a very, I had a lot of fun working with Michael Bay.
Yeah.
I like to play Michael Bay, actually. So no. He knows that. He knows.
In the biopic.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I've got about 30 seconds left, so I just want to ask you really quick. My spoiler question is obviously the ending has been sitting with me. I cannot stop thinking about it. I'm just curious your reaction to reading it for the first time, and then also just I don't know, it won't stop sitting with me.
Yeah, look, I think that's the point, right?
Yeah.
You're left with a moment.
I'm literally speechless.
Yeah, you're left with a moment that makes that blows your mind and surprises you. And I think the great thing about this movie is we take a boxing genre, which is I think a genre that if you're a fan of boxing, we love, right? And it's a fresh take on that. It's about the fight in the mind and what people will do, the lengths that people will go to. And I think that's a very real thing for any athlete, for any artist, for actually any human. There are, the desperation to have a second shot at life is a very real thing. And and we see it all around us. And I think that's what's beautiful. It's sort of a metaphor for life.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you guys. I'm out of time, but I appreciate talking to you.
Okay, Ash.
Thank you.
Congrats. Yeah, this movie's very awesome. Thanks.
No ripcord. You say it for me.
There is no ripcord.
Ready to ride.